Hello! Hi! Welcome! It is currently the weekend and I'm about to go on my way to my parents because I'm gonna be watching the cats for a few days again, which I always love to do. And I'm kind of thinking about which books I'm gonna take with me because I'm gonna be there for almost a week. So the thing is, I think I said this in my last vlog as well, I'm really in a fantasy mood and I still haven't been able to quench that thirst. These are the books that I'm kind of currently reading, and I'm oh wait, I should maybe first talk about the fact that I finished A Room of One's Own. Yep, I really enjoyed this, especially at the end. She talks about how she encourages women to just write and keep doing arts because she hopes that, you know, as long as we keep doing that, as long as we keep working towards that, we are working towards like a future where a potential future woman will be completely free to make art and to write without any kind of prejudice against her because she's a woman. And I just thought that was really beautiful, especially given the fact that this was written in 1928, I think. And we've already come so far. Still not there yet, but we've come so far. It was just very wholesome for me to read that and made me think like, yes, we should write as women. We should just continue doing this because it'll help potential women in the future. So this was a great read. Now for two books that I bought in last vlog that I have been kind of reading. So I have them here on my kind of nightstand. First we have Black Venus, the collection of short stories by Angela Carter. I will take this with me because I will continue to read it, but of course this is not gonna really have that, oh, you want to keep reading feeling to it because they're short stories. Then I have been reading Heroes and Villains, which is a fantasy story, but I'm gonna be honest, I've been having kind of a hard time getting through this one. The idea of the story is very interesting. It's about this girl who's part of this group of professors, and they often get raided by barbarians who are evil. And then one day she runs away from her life at the professors because she needs to get married and live kind of a typical womanly life, and she really doesn't want to do that, so she runs away with this boy, gets taken to the barbarians, and there she kind of starts her new life and kind of sees that these barbarians are very different than what she was told about them, which is very, you know, kind of classic but still interesting take on the whole good versus evil, heroes and villains thing. And while she is with the barbarians, they also start treating her extremely poorly, and she kind of has to find her way through. It really explores interesting ideas of what is good and what is evil and how different populations can look at each other and have wrong ideas about each other. But the way that it's written, like the story itself, is just not written in a way that makes me interested in continuing reading. The way Angela Carter writes, or at least this one, is extremely distant. Like there's so many big things happening in very short amounts of time, very hefty things that are happening to our main character, and she just doesn't respond to the things that are happening to her at all. Like we rarely get to see kind of a reflective moment of our main character, or a moment she really emotionally responds to all the things that are happening to her. And because of that, I just cannot connect to anything that's happening in here. Like the ideas are very cool, but I really feel, and I never thought I would say this about this book, I really feel like this book would have been better if it was 100 pages or 200 pages longer. And we just got to see a little bit more. We just got a little bit more time with our main character and the things that are happening, and just taking the time to process it and really see the interactions between the characters instead of just rushing through everything as is currently happening. So I still want to finish this. I'm about, I don't know where I am. I yet again have not used a bookmark. So yeah, I will take these with me, but I'm still really looking for a story that I can just, you know, like a fantasy story that's not too difficult, that I can just really, I just want to be transported into a different world and not think for a second. That's what I want. And I know last time that I said I really wanted a fantasy book, I disappointed a lot of you guys because I picked up Jade City and then decided to not read it. Because of that, I actually recently decided to kind of check out the first chapter to see if I wanted to read it. And to be honest, Even after reading the first page, I realized this is one of those fantasy books that is going to have, you know, it's just gonna take some time to really get into it, and it's gonna have like a lot of world building and a lot of characters that you need to get used to. That's not what I'm looking for. I just want a fantasy world that I can very easily, immediately be sucked into. So I guess we'll just stick to these two for now then. Hello, so here you can actually see me working on a project that I have now launched, and that is my monthly book club where you guys can choose what book we read. We will read and discuss it together, and then there's also going to be an extra hangout with our little reader community where we can do like maybe movie nights or reading sprints together, and I'm very excited about it. So if you want to join our little reader club, you can click the link in the description, and if you join now you can still vote on the May book club because I'm very soon going to close the voting. I'm sitting in the attic where my parents have like so many books. They have so many beautiful bookshelves. And I finished reading Angela Carter's Heroes and Villains today. Let's cut to the chase. Unfortunately, I really wasn't a big fan of this. I'm so sad about it. I think the ideas presented in this book, the concepts are so interesting. It really explores the dynamic between men and women. We follow this like very angry female character. I really appreciate that we have this female character that is very much ruled by anger. That's not something you see very often, and I'm all here for the female rage. Even if it was written back in the 70s, she was on the female rage trend back then. It's all interesting, but I noticed that her writing style just isn't for me. Beautiful imagery, don't get me wrong. Like she writes, what was this? Let me get an example. Like for example here, the roads were arteries which no longer sprang from a heart. That's beautiful. I love her descriptions, but her writing style is so distant from the characters. It's not that I think this is a bad book, it just really wasn't for me. I think I still want to read some of her other works because this is her least popular one. Sorry, I'm noticing that I'm constantly like turning around in this chair. I cannot sit in a chair like this without doing this, sorry. So if you've read a lot of Angela Carter, do let me know if you think I should continue or if she's just not for me. Anyway, now that we're here, I was just setting up the camera and I saw a lot of my like childhood favorite books are here as well, and I just wanted to show you one book that is like the reason that I love fantasy. Like I'm certain that this book had some kind of influence on like my brain development as a child. It is this, it's just a Dutch book of stories before bedtime, but oh, there's a lot of dust on it. Oh boy. Ooh. But the reason I love this so much is because it has these beautiful illustrations. Look at that. Like, there are so many stories in here of like the personification of spring or the personification of lilies. And then there was a beautiful illustration. Look at that, that's wonderful. Let me see if I can find my favorite one. I know I had a favorite one. Here, the rainbow. The rainbow one. Definitely loved that one as a child. Oh, and this one. This was the Queen of the Night. Ah, little Night Circus fan was brewing back when I read this. Oh, and of course this one. The Lunar Fairy. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to share that one. Let me know in the comments if you have like a book that you read as a child that like massively shaped your preferences in fiction years and years later. Like even today I love these kind of like fairy tale-esque stories with personifications of real world things and like the night and the moon and the stars. I think I'm gonna end the vlog here, and then in my next vlog you will see me choose the next book that I want to read. Okay, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this little vlog. I hope you enjoy the spring and the sun, if it's spring where you currently live. And I will see you soon in another video soon, hopefully. Okay, goodbye.